Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
You know, we still have half an hour left on the program for our 4-hour morning show, but I'm thinking we should play this at the end of every show just to sort of,
That's a nice closing.
sign off.
It's sweet.
Patrice Onwuka. It's Patrice and Larry here on O'Connor and Company, and that little girl's voice that broke every heart around the world when the film Sound of Music first premiered and continues to this day was that of Kym Karath. And she joins us now, one of the original stars of the film Sound of Music. She's in town for the Kennedy Center production of the musical Sound of Music. Kym Karath, I'm a little starstruck. I've known you my entire life. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm very, very happy to be here.
What is it like to, at the age of 5, basically be immortalized like that? And no, I mean, you've had a career, but I mean, that film is legendary. No, hardly any actress gets to be in a legendary film like that, let alone when they're a child.
It is a rare experience, that's for sure. It's so funny because I had done 3 movies before I did The Sound of Music. I started when I was 3, and so that was sort of a normal thing for me to do. But the result was so remarkable from Sound of Music. I mean, there was a before Sound of Music and there was an after Sound of Music. And I got fan mail from all over the world and, from countries I had absolutely never heard of by the time I was 6 years old at that point, like Paraguay, Uruguay,
Amazing.
Brazil, Finland, everywhere. Japan, I had a pen pal fan from Japan for many years who sent me pictures, and it was like the world opened up.
Why does this story still resonate? Why does it still? Because it's certainly of its time. It's a World War II story, and looking through a modern 2025 lens, it almost seems corny, if not quaint, but it still touches people to this day.
Oh, listen, I think not at all. In a way, I'm a little biased, but there's. The story is the true story. I mean, the underlying story is the true story of this remarkable family that fled in the face of Hitler. And earlier than, they were not Jewish. It wasn't their well-being that was at risk, but it was their moral well-being that was paramount. Mm-hmm. And they felt like the captain and the children, because apparently in real life, he asked for the family to be in complete agreement before they made this colossal escape. And it wasn't actually an escape because it was a little bit earlier. So they, I think, took a train to Italy and then traveled singing until they eventually got into a boat and arrived in New York with, I think, $25, $30. I mean, I think the underpinnings of the story are so profound about family and morality and goodness and all of that I think, even with the overlay of this gorgeous, luminous music that was of its time, the story is just, I think it's perennial. I think people feel that.
I think you're right. Talking about you in your personal life, starting as a child actress, and how did you kind of grow and develop as an adult, and not fall into the trap that so many other actors and actresses fall into, who start out as children and gain early stardom at a young age, but we see their lives deteriorate. How did you avoid that?
I had a very solid family. I mean, I certainly can't take credit for, what was pure luck, which was having a really wonderful, loving, very grounded Greek family. And Greeks are known to be very down to earth and common sense, and those are the people who raised me. So that helped when things got a little squirrely around my teenage years, and I was approached by some very awful people to do awful kinds of things. My parents pulled me out, and I focused on my schooling and graduated from SC, and then was able to resume my career and make the kind of choices that all normal people make. Like, gee, I think I'll go to Paris because I speak French, and try to act there. And then, in fact, very rational. But in fact, what happened was I fell in love and I got married. I had a child. I have a life like other people's, in some ways with some more challenges than most people, because my son has special needs, and so that was a huge commitment. But it's just life. I mean, I certainly never fell into the trap of any kind of a substance issue, which I think is, the worst thing anybody can really do for their well-being.
Well, and you were grounded, and it looks like your parents sort of taught you, this movie actress fame thing is great, but there's more important things about being a solid human being. Kym Karath is our guest. She is best known as little Gretl, the youngest of the Von Trapp children in the original Sound of Music film, which, by the way, it's the 60th anniversary this year, and
it is the 60th anniversary.
Amazing. Sound of Music is live on stage at the Kennedy Center right now through October 5th. And, I mean, you were little, but what memories do you have of this film, of shooting this film? Because it looked like you all were having fun. It looked like you all treated each other like brother and sister. It certainly played well on the screen. And, my gosh, the gorgeous scenery you got to enjoy.
Well, it was an experience that was incredibly memorable. I have a lot of memories, some of them silly and funny, some of them scary, like falling into the lake and almost drowning. Most of them absolutely wonderful. And, the best part for me, truthfully, I mean, I think it started a lifelong love of Europe and of history and everything, experiencing Salzburg at that young age. Yeah. But we truly became brothers and sisters. And it started with the filming. We really fell in love with one another then. And it's remained throughout my life, and it's just one of the things I treasure the most.
Just incredible to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy our town. Enjoy Washington, D.C. This is a good time to be here, actually, and the beautiful Kennedy Center. Yeah.
It's so glorious right now. I'm ecstatic to be here and excited to go to the Kennedy Center.
Excellent.
Terrific.
We'll look for you tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kym Karath. It's 8:44.
Pleasure.